Pyratechnics, and the Nidalee is also banned away. I do want to see how he handles SmittyJ, though, because that's a player who hasn't had... he's had a lot of ups and downs. Let's leave it at that.
He has, but at the same time, I just get the gut feeling that SmittyJ seems to be more consistent overall. Azir now banned out by Huma. Interesting thing about this is Godbro actually does play Azir, hasn't played it in a while, hasn't had to play it in the playoffs. Sorry, promotion tournament. And you know,
their playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. And Godbro, honestly, he had this play coming into the open qualifiers where he got a quadra kill and basically won the game for Huma to put themselves in Challenger. So interesting, he hasn't wanted to bring it out since.
Yeah, so with those other bans coming through, the Corki and the Callista banned away, the next AD carry in line, of course, the Sivir. It's immediately picked up by Giants, who, by the way, have been banning it on blue side almost every game.
Okay, this is super, super fast, like, picks and bans. We need to kind of catch up with a few things. Lulu banned away, fairly standard from the Giants as well. Corki now, they want to take that safe mid laner out from Peppy so we can't blind pick it. Sivir first pick is a little curious. I'm going to come back to that because they've got Werlyb, his Trundle in the top lane.
It's true.
That means Giants prioritize the Sivir over the Trundle that we know Werlyb wanted to play. It was banned out yesterday a fair amount. And Huma have got themselves on the Gragas here as well. So 2 big picks here for Huma.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to take it to Giants. We know Gragas yesterday was a really, really hard thing for Peppy to deal with when he was playing on the immobile champions, the likes of Xerath and whatnot. And we'll see if he goes for something a little bit different. Got a lot of time on the clock before he does have to select his mid lane, though, of course. Graves being thought about here for Wisdom. It's also technically that flex pick could go up topside for SmittyJ. We'll have to see if the Lee Sin is locked in or not. It's going to be Poppy.
So, at this point, Graves locked in, Poppy locked in. Likely now the Graves is going to the jungle for Wisdom. I know it's kind of a pick that has been banned away from the Giants a lot now. 8 bans Graves has been banned away. We've seen 1 game for Wisdom on that. So really interesting pick and ban phase. Now, a lot of what Giants have either prioritized banning or have had banned away from them was available for this game. Sivir, they banned 8 times. This is the first time we're going to see SONSTAR now on this Sivir, and I wonder whether we're going to see a change now from Hustlin. The analyst has talked a lot about how he plays the Braum, the Azir. Will he play the likes of a Janna that is for that fast pushing in the lane?
That is, in fact, the question. But you have to look at what Huma have answered with on their side, too. We talked about this Trundle for Werlyb, but he's not going to be getting it because the Rammus has come out now.
Yeah.
And, of course, HolyPhoenix locks the Jhin, the champion that he had an insane play on in their lone win against Rocket yesterday.
So what this does is it kind of neutralizes some of Werlyb's general tendency of split pushing as a duelist, and now kind of puts it to split pushing as a tank, believe it or not, where he's going to push out the lane, utilizing obviously Rammus' strengths with the tremors and that, and then is going to set it up for ganks coming through the side path. He's also obviously going to look for home guard ganks, as you always will with Rammus, but we know Werlyb. He's the first out of a fight into another lane that's going to split push. I think Crepo was talking about that a fair amount yesterday.
Yeah.
Doesn't waste a moment, just get straight out there.
So we do get to see some change-up as you were predicting from Hustlin. He's going to be picking himself up the Janna. So this will be the first time, of course, for this tournament that he's picked that up, and then we see the Lissandra locked in for Peppy. Very, very chase-heavy.
Oh yeah, Giants are going to run at somebody and they're going to die real quick. Especially with this Graves in the jungle yesterday. We saw Wisdom picking up a double kill with 1 collateral damage. So it's just going to be Sivir ult into Lissandra Claw, into Poppy diving in. It's going to work well if Giants are ahead. If Giants can maintain lead, if they fall behind, this is not the kind of composition that does particularly well with fighting.
Well, we know Giants have had troubles when they haven't been able to get an early lead and had very few wins, of course, in the LCS as a result. But with that final Twisted Fate pickup, Huma do have a few squishies on their side that, if caught, could get melted pretty quickly. On the other hand, there's a big front line, too, between Gragas and Rammus and the Trundle support, even.
And you mentioned frontline. That is one thing that, even with the additional crit damage that a Sivir will get, until she gets 3 or 4 items, she cannot deal with the frontline. It's a fairly common thing with AD carries just in general that as soon as you know, the enemy tanks have a lot of armor, have a lot of health, it's difficult to get through it. Still is a problem for the Sivir. We'll see whether the Graves and the Poppy can supplement that along with the Lissandra. There is a fair amount of damage still for the Giants, but certainly there's a point in this game where Huma are going to get very tanky and they're going to be very tough to deal with.
It's not the first time we've seen Giants try to put together a strategy that is very, very singular and very telegraphed, but if they can pull it off, they could be 1 game up in this one. Both coaches shaking hands, getting ready to walk off the field. We'll have to see now. With everything on the line, it's time to see which team will take the final spot in the 2016 European LCS Summer Split.
For me, I have been waiting for this match for all these months. I couldn't be more motivated.
Go, 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 go! No flash, no flash, no flash.
I don't really feel the pressure. I don't think anyone feels. I think we're very confident in our team and in each other.
This actual roster from Giants, I think that they are just some players that know each other for 3 weeks maybe, but they are not a team. Like, they don't really play for a reason. I think that is our advantage.
Some spicy statements, not a team, says Werlyb. If his team can prove it against this Giants squad, they'll be the only new team in the LCS in summer.
I've got to argue with Werlyb on this point, I'm afraid, my friend. Werlyb, Giants have just played 10 games over 2 days. This is pretty much the most experienced Giants roster have had all split long when you look at number of games played. So regardless of whether coming into this they were a team or not, certainly they've had a lot more experience now, and for better or worse, they still do have something to play for. They absolutely want to maintain their spot in the LCS. So I think going into this, thinking Giants have got nothing to play for is a little bit underestimating, perhaps, the squad that have been on the up and up the last day and a half.
Might just be. I mean, yeah. 5 games, taking down the Copenhagen Wolves, and then coming into 5 games and just barely missing out on beating Splice. I mean, it really could have gone either way on game number 5, and you can even hear how exasperated Yamato was on the test. Man, I'm just glad it's over. But let's look at this Huma lineup, though, because they're both running, or rather the squishies here, HolyPhoenix and Godbro, are both running cleanse.
Yeah.
Clearly, they want to shy away from the all-in the Giants are bringing in. They're not going to take any unnecessary risks, but that does limit the teleports to just 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's fairly standard, although when you look at it, it is supplemented by the fact that it's a Twisted Fate. So TF into Lissandra, you want to run that cleanse. You can also then use the global for yourself, too. So it does supplement the teleport. Looking at it, we are in Australia lane situation. So HolyPhoenix and suis Kaas will be topside now. Kaas was actually looking to try and stop the jungle start here as soon as SONSTAR shows, so it tells you that Huma were expecting that it was going to be 2v1s up here. SONSTAR gets shielded out. And, you know, I'm excited to see how this lane's going to go. We haven't seen SONSTAR play Sivir in the promotion tournament yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this push goes.
Yeah, that is really the question. If Giants will be able to execute the Sivir comp this way. We saw yesterday Huma tried a all tanks plus Sivir comp. Didn't quite work quite so well against Rocket, but it was an interesting change. And it's nice to see Sivir back just because you get these really crazy chase fights down the middle and less of the side lane pushes that we've been so standard seeing in Europe.
Yeah, and you can see early on Sivir is just going to be able to push that lane into Jhin. Jhin really needs a little bit more time. The Q will start, you know, helping him with the push back, but it only hits 4 times, so it's not quite the same as Sivir Q and W, where you can just throw both at a wave and the wave goes.
And you've got a melee support too in Trundle because they picked that early and then swapped it for the Rammus. He's not going to be that useful to steal stats in the lane, of course. That only happens after 6 anyways. But they're really looking to maybe put that up against SmittyJ later on and try to take a little bit of bite out of the stats that they're going to be bringing in, the defensive stats that Wisdom will have on that Graves.
Yeah, it's just more so in a team fight. You go, oh, Poppy's coming in, hit her with the subjugate, that kind of thing. Because there are going to be very few situations where just suis is going to want to be just opposite SmittyJ, like even in like a 1v2 kind of thing. Probably not what he wants.
The pillar too can interrupt the Sivir. Like that's a huge disruption.
Yep.
But I'm really curious to see how this lane does left because HolyPhoenix has been. Yesterday, I wouldn't say he looked all-star all the time, but he was able to step up pretty big in the Challenger Series Finals as Rudy is now caught between Pepi and Wisdom. He's going to flash, the gold card comes out, but Wisdom follows forward. Does he have the damage to finish him off? Doesn't look like it. Godbro going low, but they get out alive!
Oh, the body block. Desperately, Wisdom was trying to get that last auto through. Pepi used the claw in the wrong position. He was anticipating Rudy to go over to the Raptors to try and get himself up and out on a tricky position, and that meant that the claw from Pepi went the wrong way. He couldn't quite catch up for the kill.
Yeah, Burn 2 flashes, just got one back now. Kaas runs right by Wisdom and takes a bite out of him as he goes. Wisdom hops back to his own jungle. For the time being, a lot of ward coverage invested. Let's see how this all happened with Rudy getting caught.
So I want to double check here whether it was Pepi trying to get himself out. No, he was expecting Rudy to go up. He started the claw as Rudy flashed, so was expecting the long flash over the wall. A little unfortunate for Pepi, didn't hold on to that claw for just long enough. Tried to gamble it, but top lane, a lot of fighting. Yeah, onto SONSTAR. HolyPhoenix has to back away as the Boomerang Blade hits him both ways. Here comes Wisdom. That's going to be a quick flash from Kaas. And look at this HolyPhoenix.
Oh, still going. HolyPhoenix, now he's got to burn his as well, and he walks out very, very low, the members of Huma. No one's gone down yet, but a lot of summoners burn.
HolyPhoenix choosing to try and trade into this Sivir lane matchup where he's just going to take so much damage. TP's gone bottom lane, thank you, observers. A lot of damage is going to come from SONSTAR this early on, just from the amount of free autos and harass that you can put down on HolyPhoenix as he's coming forward, especially into a minion wave as well. Kaas can't really follow up all that well on that either. Used exhaust during that. HolyPhoenix actually running cleanse and not running heal on his AD carry of Jhin. Something I think you alluded to earlier, but I didn't quite catch up on until now. That is very not standard.
Yeah. He does not want to get Lissandra ulted, basically.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm trying to think of exactly how many games I've ever seen in, like, at least this season that has ever had a cleanse in it.
An AD carry or just a Jhin in general?
Just an AD carry or Jhin. Maybe, like, none spring to mind. I mean,
it begs the question, how confident is HolyPhoenix in his team's ability to protect him? How confident is he against this Sivir lockdown, chase you, kill you comp? And that's a worrying thing if you're facing off against a team in game number 1 that you are sacrificing the safety and the ability of heal just so you can get out of CC.
Well, what it will do, however, is I'm assuming he's going to be greedy from this and then not buy a QSS. That's my assumption, is that he wants to get a little bit more damage a little earlier on. So
speaking of greed, too, I mean, it is in line with his item purchases. He picks up the Cole in the 2v2 lane.
That is true, actually. 2v2, very rare to see that.
But they expected the lane swap. As you said, they're still trying to play it out that way. It's a little bit odd as xPePii, he's the one who gets gold carded, but he claws to safety as Rudy will not hit him with the barrel roll. Everything else continues to trade standard. I mean, you look at the gold, nothing really has happened since there have been a couple of gank attempts, but no kills. Just lots of summoners burned across the map, and you can see both teams are not trying to pull any punches, but they just can't find a fatal hit.
Yeah, deep warding, though, here. It's because they've spotted Wisdom on the bottom side. Through River, they spotted him. So they get a good few wards down. He even got the Wolf Camp away, but he didn't smite it, so he didn't get the Rift Spirit.
Wisdom had such a mixed performance yesterday, and against the Copenhagen Wolves as well. There were so many games that I watched it just thinking, this guy is playing out of his mind right now. He's looking even better, I would have said, than he did in the few games we saw him play back in Korea. But there were also games where he completely got caught out of position and disrespected and just died randomly. Like, it's such a binary performance for him.
Well, we've seen both sides of Wisdom so far. Maybe we'll see the ganking side of Rudy, but he hasn't walked over a ward here. So SONSTAR, no ult yet, gets interrupted. Yeah,
they do have the shield on, and Kaas is actually taking quite a lot of damage on the auto attacks. The teleport comes in for xPePii, who claws in, looking for Rudy. Wisdom around the side. They can't quite find the damage on the Fat Man they need as the collateral comes in. And he dodges out of the Howling Gale. Giants invest a lot into picking off Rudy, and it's just not enough.
Maybe this is hindsight being 2020, but I feel like that TP should have been cancelled as soon as as Huma didn't commit to that. Again, maybe I'm looking at the results more than the play itself, but without the Sivir ultimate, that play, if Sivir is 6, you get the kill. Here comes TF up to the top lane, though. It's because Giants have stuck around. Still no 6 on Sivir.
Oh! Traffic cone is up, but xPePii does not respect the laws of traffic, apparently.
This is just a really weird timing here. Giants shouldn't have gone for that without being level 6 on Sivir, because you can't close the gap. And then Godbro actually didn't need to use his global to get up to top, so both mid laners just wasted their globals for no return. Really sloppy play here.
Very, very sloppy to try and burn these things left and right, and still no one's managed to find a pick onto any of them. It's almost as if both teams have just decided we're not going to play League of Legends anymore. We're literally just going to try to kill each other constantly. SmittyJ is going to find Rudy in his own jungle here, but can Rudy get out in time? He just needs to smite. There we go. Goodbye.
He's out. The very small silver lining is that SmittyJ clears the camp right on time and gets the knowledge of both. So he knows where Wisdom, he knows where Rudy was. So yeah, it's all good. You started to make a point a little earlier that I wanted to pick up on, but we transitioned into action about HolyPhoenix and how he's been a little bit inconsistent. Firstly, I have some conclusive stats. Every AD carry in every game in the EU LCS has run heal and flash. That's only EU. So
Every game.
HolyPhoenix is in every single
throughout
game.
history.
This split at least.
Okay, well that's still history.
I'm just saying, that's the precursor to this. So
Alright.
for HolyPhoenix though, he has been inconsistent in Challenger as well. He's had these games where he's absolutely carried. Gone like 10-0, won the game, everything was coming up great for HolyPhoenix, but at the same time, he has had a couple of series where he's just been, honestly, like almost awfully bad in games where he's like takes a 2v2 in the lane, gets pulled out as Tristana, hooked back in, and dies 3 times before like 15 minutes in a standard lane setup.
So he has kept fairly even here, all things considered, because yeah, he had to burn the flashes, but since nothing else happened, it's already back up off cooldown. Kaas is, despite being on a melee support, has been able to disrupt SONSTAR and Hustlin enough for them to trade a little bit. Yeah, it's not the most effective, and Sivir picking up the early Swifty boots means that SONSTAR will have much more maneuverability to try and get in there and trade more effectively. But all things said and done, HolyPhoenix is still doing well. He's got a CS lead right now, and he is getting attention. Rudy's making his way up very slowly, huffing and puffing as he goes.
Rudy just got seen, though, on the wood that's on Krugs and on the pink wood. So there's been pings on Rudy. They know exactly where he is. That's why Rudy's...
He's not even in the bush, yeah.
Yeah, Rudy, they have the feeling because of how fast Sivir and Janna got pushed back.
See, well, hold on, listen. Your favorite music's playing.
Every time that plays,
it's a good
I always
skin,
get
man.
a smile on my face. I like it, man.
Yeah. All right, so looking at Pepi and Godbro, we haven't seen much from them since the early level 1 attempt on Rudy's life. And obviously, Lissandra is much more of like a team utility lockdown pick than it is going to be like this crazy carry burst, but we have seen Lissandras go pretty big. And Pepi has been, despite what Werlyb is saying, stepping up back into what he was known for, doing these really crazy plays and sometimes often carrying the game. But not every game.
Yeah, not every game.
We're seeing flashes of that, and that is good for Giants as a team. I mean, see that come back.
We even saw the Xerath yesterday.
Yeah, serious throwback.
Pepi, that was a big throwback to me while I was watching. I was like,
he was shooting 3-pointers too.
Yeah, he was.
It was good.
But not so much in the result of that game, unfortunately.
No.
They got caught out quite a bit yesterday. But you spoke about utility mid laners. Both of these mid lane players have gone for the utility in this game. They want to snowball other people, which is fine. I do like Pepi when he's on form and is on a carry because he plays with a lot more confidence. We've seen in the first games of both of their series, Giants basically win convincingly, and Pepi is just smiling, beaming from ear to ear.
Of course, when they lose, I mean, you can see he puts his hands on his head. And
exactly.
He's a very emotionally charged player, and it helps when you have somebody like that who is in such a carry and very important role on your team to be able to facilitate the good mindset. Giants need to keep that going if they want to win.
One thing that Pepi will struggle with here is Godbro is going for the I need to get to mid lane as fast as I can all the time build.
Good old alacrity
which
boot.
is alacrity early onto just, your tier 2 boots. Run out, make sure you can queue. What this is going to do is mean that Godbro can run out, push out the lane, as Pepi is like teleporting out and can then utilize his own TP. So it means every time Pepi should be losing damage on that tower, and he's going to be able to get himself back into the action and everything like that.
Taking a look, still a slim lead here for Huma, but nothing significant, just a lot of counter jungle. We did see Giants pick up a dragon that was, of course, not spotted by Huma, and there really wasn't any counterplay for them. They didn't go for the Rift Herald. In this situation where it's less, oh, we know we're going to swap back and forth and we're just going to fast push these towers, we have seen teams in the lower tiers of play really kind of just back and forth attempt to trade with each other in sort of an awkward laning phase. So far following what we expect.
Interesting itemization, just SmittyJ. And there is a reason for it as well. So typically we see a lot of Senpai K by Spawn Gauntlet on Poppy, but notice the Spectre's Cowl. So we say this a lot, but it's always good to remember. Rammus, when he returns damage, it is magic damage that gets taken back. So SmittyJ right now is going to sit on Spectre's Cowl. Pepi, however, sitting duck mid lane.
Yeah, he is. He puts the tomb on himself, and there's a pair of teleports in. You got to think Pepi's going down sooner or later, but the Claw will not go through as they stun him up with a gold card. And Huma surrounding him, picking up first blood. It's HolyPhoenix. Now Rudy's gone down, and SmittyJ is still caught between 3 members, but he's got Wisdom for backup. Can he get away as tanky as a Poppy can be? But the Rammus taunt comes in. The Monsoon around the side for Hustlin. Godbro trying to hustle his way to freedom as well. Sivir chasing him down. Jhin coming up. Godbro gets the gold card on, but he gives his life for it. All said and done, it's a 2-for-1. Make that 2-for-3 as Kaas goes down. all for Pepi.
Giants are lighting up the studio with their shouting in this one. 3-for-1 overall. It looked a bit dire for Pepi as he got caught out first. Now he's going to TP in for the tail end of the play, keep that minion alive. This is going to be mid tower going down now for Giants. This was a great turnaround out of this team.
Shows you how long that fight was. Even though the death timers are low, he's able to teleport in on the back of it. Giants pick up 3 after losing Pepi, and Huma just overextend their hand, losing a tower as well as losing 3 members. That swings the gold. Almost 2,000 in the lead as Rudy has to fight for his own blue buff now.
And consider that all comes from Huma trying an aggressive play onto Pepi in the middle lane, trying to get this working for them. It even didn't go amazingly well for SmittyJ. We'll take a look at this as it comes in. So Rudy knows he can come in because he's standing on a pink ward. This is a great combo onto Pepi. The problem is they don't have the damage to kill him quick enough that he gets the ult off on himself. He doesn't get the core and dies because of it. That's fine. But note that SmittyJ's hammer only hit a minion. It didn't actually hit anybody from Huma. So SmittyJ somehow is able to stay alive in this. Just the little resistances that he's got from his itemization, the Monsoon, Wisdom causing trouble. And SONSTAR had actually chased HolyPhoenix all the way down the river and had dealt half of his health, which meant HolyPhoenix had to come all the way back to this defensive position under the turret, all the way to get his ultimate off. Consider he started top lane and was running down taking damage. That's how slow Huma were trying to get into this fight and how well Giants were blocking them from doing it.
Sometimes you just got to leave the Poppy alone, man. If they hadn't gone for the chase, they probably would have only lost 1. And as it stands, Giants get themselves a pretty solid swing on the gold. Huma have answered a little bit back in the interim, though. It's really only about 1,000. Obviously, early game things can shift quite quickly. Next Dragon will be 2 minutes away, since Giants did pick that one up quite stealthily, but they're rocking themselves a pretty happy lead here. As the lanes resettle, only difference has been that mid tower knocked down, and you can see Godbro pretty far extended, but he knows he's safe since all eyes are on the rest of Giants.
Yeah, but the thing is, Godbro now doesn't have that tower. So you allude to it extended. He's always trying to run back out, utilizing the build we were talking about. The problem is now he can actually get punished from it. Wisdom wasn't in position to do it, and Rudy was around to counter. So it's not that easy to punish this Twisted Fate, but certainly can still happen. He still wants to maintain Pepi's position under tower, though, because it is going to give Huma a lot more freedom on the map, despite not having their mid lane tower, because Godbro is going to be looking to utilize that TF ult sometime soon. And it's going to be up before the teleport is available for Pepi, so that's going to really be the next play for Huma, is how do they use that TF ult to get HolyPhoenix maybe further ahead.
But for Giants, they're eyeballing the Rift Herald to be able to push out towers a little bit quicker. Should go to Wisdom here. Eventually. No, he's giving it to SONSTAR.
This lighting. Well, SONSTAR now plus
push in.
this Janna. This push is going to be so fast. Problem is, they're against the Jhin, and he can pretty much take out 4 of the minions very quickly.
True. But they have the pushing power as well, and with Wisdom up here, HolyPhoenix and Kaas might have to give this up.
Yeah, with 3, this is not something they want to take a fight under here.
Rudy's coming, but he's going to be slow. Oh, they actually do clear the minion waves away, but look at the damage they've already dealt to it.
No TP for either of Giants.
He hits a collateral on that one, and it barely touches Phoenix.
He got a little bit of damage down. It's enough for Giants to want to go aggressive. Look at the zone they're putting down.
Yep.
Pushing them back.
They want that tower, and they will have it.
It takes a while, but at the same time, Giants, they're looking for this stopgap objective now. Because, okay, they get Rift Herald, they get top tower. Now they just shove top tower all the way out. Then they go bottom, get Dragon, probably push bottom tower out. It's fairly linear for Giants, but at the same time, if they're constantly bouncing objective to objective, you're always getting further ahead. It's at the point where you go, well, we've got these towers down and there's no Dragon and no Rift Herald, so what do we do? That's when teams slow down.
Yeah.
Giants have got clear objectives for the next few minutes.
Well, what's really great for this about Giants, aside from just being ahead, is like you said in picks and bans, they're building this comp that needs to get ahead, and now Pepi looking to chase down Werlyb or just zone him away. Yet another tower is going to fall. But back to your point about not knowing what to do when all the objectives are gone, that really has been where Giants have struggled. They've played a number of games. Some of yesterday's games against Splice come to mind, where they get up and they get a great push on, and then they overextend their hand because there's not much for them to take, and then they get collapsed on. And that turns everything around, and they just look lost.
Yeah.
They've got to be able to fix those gaps. Even if they are able to take this series handily and make it back into the LCS, if they don't fix those issues, they're still going to end up at the bottom of the table come the end of summer.
Oh, they've got to be careful here, though. You can see from the side, just Kaas was trying to come around. Rudy was in this bottom lane as well. There was a potential there for Huma to have looked to engage, but SmittyJ's TP is available, as is xPePii's. So we're at the point where it's kind of the standoff now, because all of the globals are available. It now means Giants just have this extra time now on the map to start pushing out, mainly because like SmittyJ seems to be doing very well against Werlyb as it is, and you can see he's been given time alone in the top lane to push the wave up. So until somebody gets the opportunity to recall and head back there, it's going to be damage onto that tower. I wonder actually how much work SmittyJ can get done, because you can see
no one's responding.
Bottom lane was getting pushed up pretty heavily as well. Now Graves comes up. This is a big window perhaps for Giants. That tower's gone.
Yeah. And it's so hard for Huma to try and flank. They've got one teleport in the form of Werlyb, and everywhere that Huma do have wards, they're lit up by Giants as well. They have eyes on the rest of the map. 20 minutes into this game, they've got 5,000 gold ahead.
And there's two things that went wrong here for Huma and why they lost that tower. The first one is that both HolyPhoenix and Werlyb were down in the bottom lane looking to clear out or maybe try and start a fight. From there, Werlyb didn't choose to teleport top because Huma want to hold their TP. They want to be able to react to the Giants and utilize the home guard because it's just become available. Because of that, there was nobody to clear the wave. SmittyJ takes down the top. It's a free tower for Giants that shouldn't have gone down in any circumstance.
Yeah, really, once again, sloppy. Not so much in trying to chase fights, but just not reacting fast enough. Not realizing, okay, we have to cross-map something. Okay, we have to get vision on the flank and be able to spot them before they can take these free things. Now they're only sitting on 2 inner turrets. They've got no dragons. They've only been able to pick up 1 kill, and that was a massive collapse on a xPePii that then cost them even more than that. Huma are starting to run out of options, and they need time for this Jhin and this Twisted Fate to start bringing more damage to the fights.
Well, the thing is, they haven't utilized this Twisted Fate, really. All he did was ult top once, and that was it. And he couldn't get anything from that because it was defensive ult. And now that they've got TF down in the bottom lane, it kind of neutralizes a lot of what TF brings. Because TF's flexibility is that he can obviously go anywhere within the zone, which mid lane gives you more option. Now they TF ult onto bottom lane. TP responds.
Yeah, but Godbro, okay, flashing and using his cleanse, and Rudy is knocked away, but Werlyb around the backside will help secure that assist. Godbro going incredibly low. The gold card is on, and the buckler gets SmittyJ the kill, but he might pay for it with his life, or is it Rudy that's gonna pay a lot of damage from that Poppy as SONSTAR comes in and finishes off Rudy with a boomerang blade. Now Werlyb is caught between the rest of Giants and Huma. Every move they make, every step they take, Giants punish them for it, but the curtain call is on, and SONSTAR, body blocked by SmittyJ. HolyPhoenix will pick up one on the shot. And it looks like he spent it all. Werlyb going low yet again. Smitty taking a lot of damage in return, but he manages to punish Werlyb. What a bloody fight it's been, and it's 3-2. We're not done yet, as HolyPhoenix flashes away and Giants look for turret.
3 for 2 overall. Giants coming out the better for it. Again, Huma start the play. Giants punish. They try and get onto xPePii, but xPePii takes too long to kill on his own. He has his ultimate, and I don't believe he had Zhonya's for this fight, but gets it very soon after. So xPePii claws to just create a little bit of distance here. In comes SmittyJ from the backside. xPePii actually didn't ult himself in this fight, it was on Godbro. So didn't have that extra time, but Werlyb from behind was enough to take it down. SmittyJ is very strong at this point in the game. Iceborne Gauntlet has a bunch of other items that you'll see when we come back into live, because he's just got bits and pieces of everything. But from here, like, this just is good skirmishing by Giants, to be honest. Yeah. They're just balancing everything well. Again,
xPePii finds so much time. Yeah, but look at how much they're investing in this. Okay, xPePii pops his Zhonya's. No way he's going to be able to get out of this one. He does burn that, and the gold card's on again. This time he's got friends. Now SONSTAR's here. Godbro gets the kill picked up, but he is going to get punished for it himself. SONSTAR with the revenge. 3-1-2 on this Sivir, and he's having a great game as it's a 1-for-1 yet again.
But look at where Giants are going here. Now it's HolyPhoenix that can wave clear. Luckily, there's not enough minions in this wave to actually keep this push going until the next wave joins. But still, Godbro keeps trading his life 1-for-1, which normally would be fine on a TF. Normally you want a TF to go and blow up some kind of hyper carry and just TP in on the back. We've seen that time and time again. The problem is he's dying at the beginning of fights, and xPePii's getting damage onto everybody else at the same time.
They can't use that utility, but speaking of, Smitty's able to send 2 flying back into the base, and Werlyb now is caught as tanky as he is. He can't get enough damage. Smitty is finally going to get taken out by HolyPhoenix. Wisdom on the follow-up. He's down as well as Rudy picks him up. This is the chance for Huma to start answering and equalizing. Hustlin taking 1, taking 2. Body blocked by SONSTAR with a spell shield. And they'll get out, but Counter push now for Huma. Going down the mid lane. Let's see if SONSTAR can clear it.
Unfortunate timing there for the Giants. Pepi was up in 1 second from that first death, so Pepi actually chose not to TP into the fight to try and turn that one around. Holds on to the summoner spell, keeps himself in the base for then and just runs out. So could have maybe tipped back if that fight had been a little bit more prolonged, but it was a fairly long fight as it was. This comes after Pepi had died. This is the tail end of the fight, and you can see at this point, Huma, especially Werlyb, has started to become very tanky. You can see he's taking damage, but not too much, even though there's 3 damage dealers hitting him at this point. Now it's on Giants to just fall back, and without the Sivir ultimate, the Janna ultimate is not quite available, except now. They can't really disengage that fight too much better than they did.
We're able to clear the wave back, so they didn't really lose any towers for it. Dragons Live, we haven't really seen them being fought over, but between you and me, with the teams playing this way, that might actually start to change. Huma are in position, but Giants are posturing towards that as well.
SONSTAR has opted for the Phantom Bouncer. And as I say, that CF ult has come out. SmittyJ is
the wind up, and he gets stunned after he knocks the hammer. Meanwhile, a teleport coming in for Pepi, and Huma are just getting blown away as Smitty brings the hammer down on Rudy's head. Werlyb now, Kaas and Godbro all on the run. They're not tanky enough to withstand this.
And not tanky enough, but something Pepi did pretty nicely there in that fight was he closed a lot of distance on HolyPhoenix and then popped Zhonya's so that he knew continuing fight.
Distance closing. Werlyb looks to go for even more with Wisdom, but Pepi's around the side. Now, the rest of whom are starting to fall, though. HolyPhoenix as well. Shut down after he cleanses, and it's just Godbro to stay alive. Boomerang Blade will clip him. Hustlin going around to see if he can get the Howling Gale off, but no, and Godbro just gets out of town with the flash.
You're not healthy enough for this, Giants. Oh, no, SmittyJ can tank. SmittyJ can tank. Okay.
He can tank everything, man.
He can. They can do this. But yeah, it's dying faster.
I wanted to talk about SmittyJ's role on this team, but there's just been so much action. Giants have lost Pepi in a lot of the start of these fights, or off the back half of it. If the Baron does go down, they do secure it. Because Huma have been focusing and spending so many ultimates, so many cooldowns on him. But then they can't follow up on Smitty. They can't follow up on SONSTAR. Look at how it starts with SmittyJ.
This time was all on SmittyJ, and look, 3 people commit to him, but then back away as soon as the TP comes out. It's an easy play here for Pepi, even though he loses half his health. Look, he's Zhonya's, and HolyPhoenix has to cancel his ultimate early because of the threat that Pepi is just imposing on HolyPhoenix from being close. If he gets onto HolyPhoenix, there's a potential HolyPhoenix just dies in that fight. Even though he has cleanse available, the rest of the follow-up part of the fight, Pepi gets into the backline again, takes out multiple people, helps SmittyJ do it. Honestly, this game has been won and lost on Huma starting fights that they can't finish. And Giants have just outfought them. Time and time and time again.
On every front. They pick up the Baron, they pick up Dragon number 3. That gold lead, of course, now extends to 8,000 at the 27.5 minutes into this game. We'll see if Giants can push even farther in. Remember, they've been pecking away and getting chip damage on this inner turret. Smitty just says, screw it, we don't need minions. We got it. And that's the last inner turret.
I mean, a lot of this is just champ select. When you look at it, the playstyle that Giants want to do is very aggressive, very running you focused. Huma were looking more to snowball HolyPhoenix with this TF pick. You get the TF, you go to the side lane, you snowball it. They were expecting a lane swap, ended up in Australia lanes, and realistically have just chosen to fight all the time. It's always been Huma that have been choosing the fights. And because they're playing into Giants' hands every single time, it means Huma burn all of their ults at the beginning, and Giants go, okay, well, we've got Sivir ult, we've got Lissandra ult, we've got Poppy ult, let's just keep going, we've got you.
Yeah, and they just haven't had any trouble. SmittyJ has just been a beast this game. And a lot of it is on that magic resist he picks up early. The Spirit Visage, of course, was completed some time ago, but Werlyb returning magic damage. Godbro couldn't get a whole lot done. HolyPhoenix is doing a lot of damage, but as you've mentioned, he's had to cancel his ults. He's had to cancel a lot of autos that he would normally like to be pecking out continuous damage on just because of the threat of Pepi, who hasn't even picked up a kill this game. He's been a massive threat regardless. Giants now sieging on this inhibitor turret in the top side, not taking that much damage, just wildcards flying. And Rudy can try to make a play here, but he gives his own life for it. Now Godbro stunned and pinned against the wall. Nothing doing as Pepi gets his first kill of that game. Kaas, one more auto, and SONSTAR picks him up. Now chasing Werlyb into Nexus Towers. That's how you know this game's gone screwy. Hustlin gets his Monsoon on, and that's going to be inhibitor, if not the game.
That's going to be the game here for Giants. There is only 13 seconds left on Baron, but they should be able to stack a big enough wave into this. Wisdom's just going behind the tower. Once HolyPhoenix.
Yeah, HolyPhoenix is just going to retreat to his own fountain, sends out the curtain call, and they're just having fun here. Smitty dives it. Oh, boy, this is getting a little crazy. All right. HolyPhoenix is starting to chase Wisdom down, and he's got a flourish, but there's a dodge. And this game is actually not going to end just yet. That was a big mistake by Giants.
Yeah, Giants, what are you doing this for? This is a game to hold...
Oh! Okay.
Right, this is a game to hold your LCS spot. You do not fountain dive in game 1 of a best of 5, regardless of how far ahead you are. I love that they're confident. Don't get me wrong. It's fine. It's fun. It's nice. This is an important game.
Yeah, that was
that
was disrespect,
kind of,
man.
Like, frustrates me. Obviously, this isn't a perfect game from any standpoint, and of course, Huma have got a hell of a road to walk back in this game 1 if they want to make it.
But if they end up winning because of that,
it's a long way away. Giants realistically should be able to regroup and take one more fight and win. But why not win the game when you can?
Oh, Godbro gets the stun on the SONSTAR here, and now Huma on the run, on the retreat. Big barrel from Rudy as they heard the on the hunt. Smitty going for the chase on the Sweet. Kaas gets the bop up, and Werlyb going around the side. They actually stun up xPePii for just a minute as he roots himself with the Frozen Tomb. Godbro around the side. Werlyb as well trying to tank all the damage, and Pepi gets his Zanyas on to save his own life. So many ways to keep himself alive. Werlyb will finally fall. Kaas is against the wall, and Smitty turns him into minced cheese.
Yeah.
2 more den.
At this point, it should just be all she wrote for Giants now as they look to take.
You would think.
This time they'll end it. They shouldn't be stupid again. Rudy's dead.
Bye, Rudy.
That's it. Okay, this game is done. It's 2 minutes longer than it should have been, but this will be Giants taking down.
Not if Godbro has anything to say about it. Smitty is actually taking a lot of damage between the tower mostly, but he just is so tanky that he can't get taken out. 5 members of Giants here. Godbro and Phoenix trying to hold the line, but it's just one Nexus turret, and that won't be there for long. Super minion wave stacking up in that top side. Smitty still holding on to life. And the Nexus is going to go down, even with Kaas coming back up. Oh, should have been a little bit longer. 31, almost 32 minutes in. Giants will take the victory to go 1-0 in the series.
Well, I'm glad to see they're having a little bit of fun. It's very different to what we've seen from the Giants' mentality all the way through the split, but okay, you got game 1. Hopefully
Some
that's
silly plays at the end.
Hopefully that's it for them now. They've got that out of their system.
You gotta go serious mode.
Now it's serious mode, hopefully. Kaas is like, what? They disrespect me by diving me on Fountain?
They did give HolyPhoenix another kill.
They did, yeah. They were just padding his stats for him.
Chasing down Wisdom at the end, man. I mean, Huma, yeah, like as you said, a lot of this was pick ban. Yeah. They weren't able to do a whole lot. Once they couldn't make use of the Godbro ultimates. And Godbro, putting all your eggs in that basket, yesterday proved very catastrophic for them.
Yeah.
I think Huma has to rethink their strategy going into game 2.
Yeah, they certainly do. So looking at some end of game scores, 0-0-16 for Hustlin. Not that Janna's the most difficult champion.
He was hustling, though.
Yeah, not that it's the most difficult champion when you're winning, but certainly we saw another champion that isn't Alistair Braum or Trundle.
That is true. So some hope for more champions in the pool. Now, we're going to send to the analyst desk to break down Giants' game 1 victory.